All right, well, we're back. Sit your podcast down. I don't keep track of the episodes. I think we're on 6.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like I'm here.
6. McFly.
Yeah, McFly's here.
What's up?
Val and G are on daddy duty right now. They couldn't jump on, so
You left with just us two.
Right. So it's just us two this week. So let's see. I don't know what you want to jump into first. It's been a lot of big topics this week. So
I don't know what's up with DaBaby. I don't know where he get his political advice from, but dude, this shit it hurt me because we had a point where what scared me, number one, I'm becoming an old head in hip hop, and it's damn, because I don't like nobody that's out that's new. He was one of them, and then he dropped his stupid ass tweet that you don't know it, don't even go find it, about how he gonna vote for Kanye, which on its own isn't the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but when it pretty much came out that it's been proven, at least to me, that he's actually trying to help Trump win, the fuck are you doing? I don't even understand. I'm a vote for Kanye. Why? This is what they want us to do. It's dumb. This ain't a political podcast, but I'm sorry. That shit is just stupid to me. But I think he a felon or something. Can he even vote? Because he.
Yeah. I don't know. DaBaby's like a lot of people right now, where they don't know much about the politics, and he just going by, well, I'm voting for Kanye because he's hip hop, and I can always guarantee when he said it, he didn't know the dynamics of Kanye running, and it's already been put out there by multiple sources that it was meant to cut the black vote, in order to help Trump. So. Yeah, and he's a typical, because a lot of people, they jump on the presidency and who's running all that stuff, and they can't even tell you who their local councilman is.
Yo, that's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
All about politics and who's doing right and who's doing wrong and who's this, that, and the third. You don't even know who to go to get your street cleaned up when you got potholes.
Dude. That's a fact. If you live in a neighborhood that has bad potholes, don't nobody know who to call, but everybody's pissed off about them potholes. Yo, man, you need to fix your street. Why don't you go talk to your local representative? Man, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, to break it down even simpler, you know what I mean? Because even locally, they always is he attacked the mayor or attacked the president? You know what I mean? It's like a student who has a problem with a class, and they always attack the principal for it instead of talking to the teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. And DaBaby ain't no different. He just going by what he's seeing, because a lot of these people are meme educated. So
meme educated.
Yeah, they meme educated.
I love it.
Yeah, so they sit there, they'll see a meme, and they'll look at a meme with a picture of Denzel on it with a quote he didn't even say, and
be like, it's facts.
It is facts, and then running with this.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Sad. Oh my goodness, you're right though. It's a lot of that. It's the internet made it so easy to get information. No one tries to get information. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just things are thrown at you, and you're just like, oh, that must be true. And that's why I even said, I hope when I saw it, it was just him trolling and it's not real. I don't want to take tweets from people and just say, yo, that must be exactly how they feel all the time. But damn it, man. Use your platform smarter than that. Or admit that, you know what? I'll vote for Kanye, but I'm cool if Trump wins. Because, again, that's what you're saying is you vote for him. You're saying, you know what? I'm either going to split the vote and help him win, or Kanye going to win. Because what Kanye even said was, yo, it's either going to be me in office or it's going to be Trump in office. He told you his plan, America. His plan is either he wins or Trump wins. So if you cool with that and you vote for Kanye, you're saying I'm cool with either one of these dudes. They either one of them could be winning. Otherwise, be smarter than that. That's all I'm saying.
And that's it. They don't know much. They're not going to research. They're not going to look at what's happening, because that's one thing that they do when you look at Twitter or wherever the place is, where they get their political information. Instead of seeing what bad condition the country is right now,
Right.
It's like, oh, we're going to follow the narrative of let's not like these people be based on this, instead of focusing on the people that we know have done worse or in that position has done terrible things. You know, it's just it's weird like that, how they just ignore what they looking at. DaBaby just went for the whole, oh, Kanye's running, he rap, I'm gonna do that. I'm voting for him.
He trying to get a beat. He trying to get a song made. I'm gonna vote for him. Really?
The song ain't gonna come out.
Is he even on the ballot? He's not gonna come out. Is he even on the ballot in Carolina? He had to fight for Illinois, man. Fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Anyways,
he can't he can't even. I don't even think he's, for most of the states, he'll even be qualified to even be a candidate.
Right.
Because he got in too late.
I think he said something like he's gonna win off of like write-in ballots. So it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and that's not like, I don't want to go too political because this is whatever, but like it should. And then like, Kamala Harris gets selected as VP. He's just like, oh, congratulations, it's an honor to run against you. You're not in the running, Kanye. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You have no chance of winning. You
have no chance of winning. But
somebody get this boy his meds, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it's all, but he knows where what his role is, which is to help separate, the black vote. But I don't think Kanye understands the damage he's doing, because I also think Kanye is just like, okay, this is the best way for me to promote my stuff. I think he's looking at it the same way Trump did when Trump decided to run. Trump didn't have any intentions of winning. Now, I remember Howard, he didn't. Howard Stern was on David Letterman with Netflix. People can go watch it. And he asked him about Trump. Trump was a friend of his, or he used to interview Trump all the time. And Trump told him when he ran, like, he's asking about how's it looking, promotion, or I'm trying to promote this, I'm trying to promote that, I'm trying to get, like, he had no intentions of winning. It's just like, oh, this helped me get popular so I can sell whatever it is I'm trying to sell.
He's more popular than he's ever been.
Right. I mean, I think Kanye is following the same formula where it's like, okay, Trump didn't plan on it, but Kanye's like, okay, this is great promotion. If I say I'm running for president, I can do this, I can do that. Even Nick Cannon fell for it. I'm gonna vote for Kanye because we need a black man in office. But it's like Kanye hasn't even said anything about political strategy or
none of that.
Policy,
that's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
If you want to tell me, and like he said something, I saw a clip on Twitter, and this is why you can't use Twitter for all your facts and fact finding. A clip that people were saying, why didn't this clip go viral? Of that same breakdown video that he had when he was like, they don't want you to know that you could take $100,000 and go buy land and feed your family and farm off the land and not have to worry about nobody else and do this and do that. And I was like, first off, Kanye, people know you can go buy land. Number one, people know you can farm. It's called farming. It's a whole industry. People understand what it is. Number three, who the fuck got $100,000 to go buy land in the middle of nowhere and go farm? Right. Have the ability to go buy the land, buy the equipment to farm it effectively, know how to farm it effectively, and then be able to provide. Like, only you have $100,000 to throw at that shit, and then another $200,000 to get the equipment. Like, you say shit that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, he's talking about acres. He's like, he instead of just saying, hey, it's a lot of people that have gardens and stuff in their backyards that grow their own vegetables and stuff like that.
He's out of touch. He said, they don't want you to know you can go be a millionaire like me. No. That's stupid. People understand that. You have to understand you are put in a position and you were blessed and lucky and all that shit to get it right and be able to do that. But let's not pretend like everybody can do what you just said. Dude, you sound just as out of touch as some old rich white dudes who've been rich forever. Well, why don't you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps? The fuck? Like, that's the same type of shit they would say. when you come from generational wealth. Not that Kanye did, but when you got 10, 20, 30 million, supposedly worth $3 billion, according to you and according to Forbes, yeah, that's not everybody's reality, bro. Like, I don't understand what you want people to do. But, like, again, if he has some kind of strategy, I'd be like, and like I said, I'm not voting for Trump, clearly. I don't care if you do. I mean, I think you stupid, but whatever, that's your business. But if you vote for somebody like Kanye, why? Because he make okay songs and beats. Like, why are you voting for Kanye? Like, he has no strategy that I've ever heard that makes sense.
And that's the thing, the biggest thing that to win these elections lately, like the last 2 years or whatever, hasn't been so much about policy or somebody's ethics or anything like that. It's been mostly about narrative, and I think they look at social media as like, okay, we need to gauge social media and try to base our voting or base our attack to promote or push for our election based on that.
Trending topics. So, it's the politics.
Right. Because it's not really like nobody cares about their plans or the strategy. It's all about what you did back then.
Yeah. They put out videos of Biden being like, remember he said this? See, he an asshole. Like,
right,
remember like, Trump did this? He's an asshole. That's all they ever do. It's the same shit all the time.
It's like you was in 94. Were you even alive? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
people were mad. I can't believe Biden did that. When was this? Before you were born?
Because that's
like people don't change over time. He that same exact guy right now. I bet you. Like, no, he's not. Like, what do you mean?
Right. And the other thing is, one thing I never questioned my parents or people older than me that lived before I got here and what they experienced or what their type of energy. If I was too young to really know what was going on, I'm not questioning the energy that was out back then.
Right, because you're right. It's a field thing. If you weren't there to experience it, you can't talk but so much to it. You just know what people wrote about, what people tell you about it. That's all you got to go on. Right.
And that's why it's just like the kids with Michael Jordan. They'll say, "Oh, look at this count." They run around to watch Mike play. They weren't around to understand the aura. You know what I mean? They weren't around to understand. So when they speak on stuff like this, it's just like you just looking at something that's in retrospect and in hindsight, instead of you don't know what was going on back then. And it's just odd that these people, when it comes to Kamala Harris, because I know this is one thing we want to touch on, there was a lot of black men attacking Kamala Harris, even though it was a lot of black women too. A lot.
I've never seen somebody just so she gets clowned by the left, clowned by the right. I'm like, why? And I wasn't her biggest fan, admittedly, but she got so much heat. And let's be clear, when the early rumblings came out, we knew she was going to get picked. Mm-hmm. He wanted a black woman. We knew that. He wanted to check that box because black women in South Carolina resurrected Biden's whole shit. He was dead in the water, and it was going to be Bernie. And then it was just like, nope, black people still love me because of Obama. And that's what got his ass back in good graces. So he was going to go black woman. So then he picks her, and it's just like, well, not her. How many people do you think are out there that he could have picked? And that's
the thing.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah, like you're looking at the politics, and it's like, okay, despite what they did in the past, I know what Trump and Pence are doing now.
Today. Yesterday.
Like
this week.
Like look how far we are just in the pandemic alone, based on just how it was handled by Trump and his crew. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would I want these same thing?
It's incompetence. I don't want incompetence. Period.
And it's just odd that it's like a lot of people are sitting there thinking that the president and vice president have more power than they actually do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like you're sitting there expecting certain things from them that you shouldn't expect. So a lot of stuff that you want changed, you can change locally if you just knew your local councilman, or you knew, had a relationship with them, instead of thinking, okay, well, the president owes me this. Even though the president's supposed to be doing certain things, it's a lot of channels and checks and balances that they have to go through before they get anything approved. But
no, that's fair. I mean, and even that, like, a lot of what he does is rubber stamped by the Senate. I mean, not to get, again, too political, but
yeah,
he gets to do what he does because he's given the ability to move unopposed. And that's the thing. I'll get the Republicans that shit, man. When they get the power, they be like, oh, whatever they want, we toe the company line.
yeah, we
Democrats
with
get
Iron
that shit,
Fist.
and they fucking Obama had to fight even with his own people. Well, I don't like that. I'm playing Obama. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, but that's what
nah.
people don't get. The elections they don't vote for.
Yeah, the Senate, the local, the council people. Like I see, going from local all the way up to like your House of Reps, all of them. Like, know who those people are, know where you are, and then know how they vote on shit. So if you see, oh, they picking this and picking that, I don't want that dude out of here. Like, if you know that, but that's the thing that people bank on, and that's why Kanye can. That's why we're in a world where Kanye gets praised and Kamala gets shitted on. Because people don't know better, because they don't try to know better, and the powers that be take advantage of that, and they want that. They want you to be focused on your 2K, my career, and fucking me and the TikTok legend. They want you focused on that shit so they can come in here and run the country with an iron fist as they see fit. And that's exactly what we're running into. People don't know basic shit that you should know. So now you allow Kanye to come out and you be like, yeah, Kanye, that's a good idea. We should both. Are you serious? Why?
Yeah, like what? It's like one thing I know about Kamala Harris already is that she's not an idiot,
and that's enough. That should be the bare minimum. She's not stupid. Oh,
right.
Okay,
so
well let's hear what she got to say because she's not stupid.
Right.
Like,
so now when you have people that are actually better intellectually, you get better decisions. So it's just like, yeah, like they got their issues, and yeah, obviously we want more for the black community and all this other stuff. But I'm not going to sit there and act like the other alternative. Well, I can't vote for that either because of this in '94, and this back in 2000.
It's the weakest argument I've ever heard in terms of just, well, like, and this what happened last time when it was a sad day when that dude won, but people, I heard people say, well, Hillary and him, they're both bad. No. There's levels to shit.
Right.
There's levels. We have to be very, very careful to not just say, oh, well, they're both awful candidates. No. You may have things you don't like about both of them. One was someone who understands how to lead, and one was a reality star. If you can't determine the difference between the two, you need to do more research.
At the end of the day, yeah, you're sitting there not voting. Meanwhile, that's the reason why Trump won, because we didn't vote. Yeah. And at the end of the day, not one, but like one person is actually incompetent and clearly not qualified for the job. Period. It could be that simple.
It's really that. It is that simple.
It's that.
There's nothing else to say about it. It is that simple. It's nothing else to talk about. But like when you think they're both the same, one asshole wins, and so now we're stuck with like, all right, well, let's hopefully we get rid of him now. Like, maybe not. I'm expecting he may actually win again, which makes me so sad. But I'm like,
I don't. Well, you're not even try to get into that too long. But I don't think that he will, because of just how bad he's been.
Yeah, let's hope.
But the thing is, like, black folks talking about, oh, you couldn't, like, the way this like just something simple like this. I wouldn't say simple, but the way this pandemic was handled, and people complaining about how they can't do this, that, and the third, while all these other countries are pretty much back to normal.
I mean, even like, third world countries are better. That was bad.
And like, this is a prime example of why you go out and vote. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
America, please do your part. Please do your part. Please.
And one more thing before we move on. You black folks out there, you want to talk about, I'm not voting unless you have an agenda. All right, well, what's the agenda?
What agenda do you want?
Right.
Tell us.
Because every other group, they come together It's like, okay, we're gonna give you this money. Here's our demands. Here's what we want. This is what we need. Instead of expecting, okay, why would I expect 80-year-old Biden to know what we want?
That's a fact. That's a fact, yeah.
You're just going to assume he know what we need and what we want without a plan. And then somebody said, we want better schools. All right, well, how do you make better schools? What would make your school better?
Give us,
you know what I mean?
I think if there was more thought, again, I think people would say things because they're hot button. They get the likes, they get the retweets, whatever. They get the shares. I mean, if you want to have a real discussion, have a real discussion. To put a cap on this. If you got an issue, forget who you vote for, forget what you feel, forget all the views and whatever you got going on. Have a plan. If you want something from somebody, have a plan. If you want something from a candidate, have a plan. Don't just say, well, this isn't good enough. He didn't do enough 15 years ago that I just can't. No. That's stupid. Have a plan for today. Have a plan for tomorrow. Otherwise, leave it alone.
Right.
Or don't say nothing like DaBaby. Shut the fuck up. If you ain't got a plan, shut the fuck up. Please.
Right. That's how I look at it. I get a little triggered by it. I get a little triggered by stuff like
I
that.
do. I feel you the same.
Yeah. Because I'm outside. I was raised by parents that's outside, that doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Outside.
Like I come from doing work. We ain't never been dependent on the president for a handout. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get some stuff done or some stuff changed, you got to go out there and do it. So
that's fair.
That's
fair.
But whatever. All right. I looked it up. I know like 2 people on this list.
Dude, I feel so bad because I'm like, I don't know any of them. First off, like XXL, like no cap, the cover looks stupid. Like, just like if you need some graphics, yo, XXL, holler at your boy. You need some graphics done, let me know. Cause whoever you paid to do this is trash. But outside of that, I mean, yeah.
I know 2 people. I know Little Tajay or TJ.
Little TJ, I think he the dude out of the I think he out of the new, I think Queens, they said, maybe?
We with the Woo, I think.
All right,
Pop
so
Smoke and all them.
Yeah.
And I know Favi.
I heard of.
I messed with Favi.
I like Rod Wave too.
And the thing is, like, let's make this. Everybody's music sounds so much alike. Like, I don't know who is who.
That's the thing, man. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I guess I get it because, like, no cap to like the newer rap, but I don't want to be one of them old heads that's just like, yo, F the new school stuff. But I got to admit, man, in all honesty, y'all found a wave. It was profitable because you was putting on. I mean, think about it. You take like an NBA YoungBoy, for example. This dude just turned, or he's turning 21 this year, I guess. He's been on for years. When you put on an 18-year-old who ain't lived through shit, he gonna rap the same way. He gonna do this. He gonna rap about this. He gonna rap about basic shit because he don't know nothing else because he ain't never lived in nothing else. And so you get all the hype behind like the tweeners and like that 16 to 19 range of rap fans. But then when that wave is started, every other 16-year-old to 21-year-old rapper is like, yo, ride that wave, ride that wave, ride that wave. And so music now, the variation, I think the reason why a Drake was popping is because he sounded different. Now it's the same, but like Drake first came out, it was something a little different. Kendrick came out, it was something a little different. J. Cole came out, it was something a little different. Like, and it was a unique sound to them, a unique voice, a unique, delivery. I don't think you have that nearly as much. So now I go through and you play some of these songs, I'm just like, okay, all right. After the third or fourth song, I'm just like, was that all the same guy? Nah, it's 5 different dudes. Oh, I couldn't tell. It all sounded the same. So, I mean, it's not based on lyrical content. What I will say is that a lot of the beat makers now are better than back in the day because the beats be hard, but just that's it for me at least. I don't be finding it really appealing from a delivery standpoint, a lyrical standpoint, a sound standpoint, as far as the actual artist.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like even with the beats, everything like the artist now is more so about because the beat. I think like these rap like they try to find a vibe. Like whatever vibe you in, whatever mood you in, like that's why all they beats sound the same, their albums would sound the same, and their content would be everybody's content is similar. Like they haven't really done anything. Yeah. So even though they beats might knock a little harder than the beats that we had coming up, I think our beats were more structured for the artists to spit their rhymes or display their lyrics.
It was a focus on you have the hook, right? You have like your bridges and like your other mechanisms, but there was a portion of it that was based on, all right, you gotta spit these bars. Like these bars have to come at some point. You may have a long entrance, you may have or a long intro portion of the song, you may have some lulls in the song, but these bars is coming at some point. Even Drake songs, some Drake songs, it just sound like he riffing the whole time. It just sound like he riffing the whole time, and the hook kind of repeats, and like the vibe is just kind of what it is, and it's fine. But like again, when everybody does it and there's not a lot of variation, it's just like,
right.
Why do I need to know you if I can know two other people that do the same thing?
Right, and that's the thing. Like everybody isn't as distinct as you, because let's be honest, you don't have to be that as talented now as you had to be back then.
No,
like you actually had to have your own style. You had to have ability, your own production. Like you couldn't, like Big Pun didn't sound like Big, or Nas doesn't sound like Jay. Mobb Deep doesn't sound like Outkast. It's just like all these guys, the newer artists kind of sounded like. So like when I listen to some of these dudes, like a lot of these dudes, I probably heard their songs before, but not knowing who it is. Fabio, like I know Fabio because Fabio sounds different to me as far as his music. Lil TJ, I know what he is, listen to that. Pop Smoke was different. You know what I mean? Like he had a very distinct voice. And then they also had their own different, like it wasn't as much auto-tune in their raps. You know what I mean? It was more of a, like what they call that Brooklyn drill, like it's a different sound.
I like, that's the thing too. I think auto-tune can be used, but I think one of the worst things that happened to auto-tune was when like people like T-Pain stopped using it, because T-Pain made really good songs with it. And then I think he made it so popular, they take similar beats, they take the mumble rap vibe, and they just blend it into the same old shit. Or you take the Junior Tekashi vibe, I'm gonna just yell at you the whole time. And it's like, I get that, but like you said, there used to be guys like, again, you think about like that golden age probably of hip hop, that 90s, early 2000s, right? Taking that time frame. You had to do like Busta. Busta was unique. And no one else did what Busta did. Could you imagine if when Busta came out, everybody did what he did? You would be like, what the fuck is this? Like everybody does the same thing. And it's like at some point, I don't need to have all y'all in my iTunes or all y'all on my Apple Music, because it's the same shit on repeat. Like, so I mean, I do. I'm not. It doesn't even have to be that they have to have no auto tune, but just, I think you said it. To me, there felt like more of a push on really putting out really good quality and not just sounding the same and having a unique sound. That's why the guys I think that really are gonna last. Like, I don't think, and again, maybe I don't think in 10 years you're gonna want to hear NBA YoungBoy. I don't think you're gonna want to hear in 10 years NLE Chopper. Like, I don't think you're gonna want to hear them in 10 years. Maybe, but like there's a few that I'm like, I may want to hear later. Like if Pop Smoke, I mean, dude, first off, the Pop Smoke album was fire, clearly. I wish I could have heard more of that. I think he would have lasted a bit longer. And I think the guys that actually are major players in hip hop that have been major players for years tend to be unique and find that unique sound. It may not be for everybody, but it should be for you. And that's the point that I don't know if a lot of these boys do because it's so lucrative. Just getting out, dropping some trash, like, you know, hook heavy, beat heavy song, get you money. And it's like, if you coming from the hood or you ain't got it, go get the bag, but you won't stay. So get your bag and then go invest in something because you ain't going to be around forever. It's just not going to happen.
And that's where the talent and everything comes in to last. Because right now, like you just riding a wave. You're not a real artist. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a real musician. You don't have a real, like, ear to just be creative. You're going to keep rapping about the same thing and following the same wave. And then when that wave goes away, what happens? That's why a lot of these artists don't last as long. You know what I mean? Or you just even think of, like, okay, when the songs we came up on, even now, it's like a certain song come on, everybody gonna know the words.
Yeah.
A lot of these artists don't have songs like that because a lot of, like, their music just comes and goes. Like, nobody really drops classic quality work.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't think they put time into it. I don't think they want to do that too much.
It's become lucrative, and honestly, that's what I'm saying about, like, we don't run rap, and that's a big problem because the companies, I mean, if you think about it, rap's run by like 4 companies. Music is run by 4. People don't realize this shit. Music is run by 4 companies. 4 companies run all of this shit. Like Sony BMG's one, I think. There's an EMG is another one. I forget. I actually back in the day. I did a paper on this in college. Dead ass. 4 companies run all of that shit. So you be like Maybach Music and, you know, So Def. I don't know why I said So Def. Of all the companies I could have thought of, I don't know why I said So Def. But Bad Boy and Rock Nation may be different. I'm not sure. But all them little names that you hear, they're on the bottom of the thing. Nah, bro. That they are under the umbrella company.
Right.
Like,
Universal, Arista.
Don't think even bigger than that. Like, Sony BMG owns half the music in the world. Like, if you think about it, it's an absolute conglomerate. But that's the thing. So you be thinking like, oh well, in all them high end decisions, maybe Jay-Z runs his own thing to an extent because he got title and he has a little more power. Maybe Kanye because he's got Yeezy, so he has more backing. But all of them rely on the distribution and the marketing from the big boys that got billions. They're not sitting there putting their own money to front up like production costs. And that's what was weird to me about music. If we ever want to have it to be what we want it to be and not just what's being pushed on us to cater to like the 16-year-old that ain't lived through shit anyway, you got to control and own shit. That's why I think Jay-Z is really the GOAT in rap and probably one of the GOATs in business because he's like, yo, I'm trying to own shit. I'm not trying to just, you know, get acceptance by the billionaires. I'm trying to be one and be a heavy hitter and make moves like that. That's something that if we have more of, I think we get more like quality music and more of a variety in music. But I mean, like I said, going back to that freshman class, there's one, who's the chick, Chica? That's the chick, the dark skin joint in the middle. I think she had a song that I liked. I think sometimes they be even better. I think sometimes women have to be better because the guys be rapping about bullshit. And I'd be like, ugh.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. Like a lot of, like you look at it, Cardi, you know, Meg, they were some of the hottest, biggest artists that been out.
Yeah.
Like Cardi and Meg drop a song, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Anybody on this freshman list, it ain't a big deal when it dropped.
I mean, even somebody that's established, like people swear about Lil Uzi Vert, but Uzi Vert does a song with Lil Yachty, it'll be cool, but like it won't be what them two is. Like, I don't care what you say. Lil Yachty do a song with anybody, it ain't gonna be what Meg and Cardi just did. I don't care who says otherwise. It's bullshit.
He did a joint with Future, and it didn't get that type of buzz.
Matter of fact, I remember seeing Yo, We Got Some Heat coming. I don't think I've even found the song. I don't think I cared to.
The song came out. But it just didn't. It didn't create that type of buzz. But
and these young cats swear by Lil Uzi Vert, like the young boys in rap that love the new school. They swear, yo, he a goat. And then they swear by Future, who came up when I was still heavier in the rap.
Yeah,
but
Future's from the Dungeon family. He just couldn't get on back then because you actually had to be able to rap.
One of the most overrated dudes in hip hop is probably Future. It's probably Future. Like he gets talked about as being amazing, and I'm just like, really?
He has a
I
lot
don't know
of
about that shit.
trash projects.
Future, I know.
But Future, what keeps him alive is that Future will have, like, when he gets hits, like they're hits, like they're hard. But it's like,
I'll give him that.
His albums are like, okay, I'm skipping all this.
but that's the case. He's like a pop rapper though. He's like Nelly. If that's the case, back in the day, for you young heads that don't know, Nelly was his shit. Air Force Ones was one of the best commercial songs of all time.
Yeah, of all time.
Like, of all time. But
I will say this, but even Nelly put time in to make more quality albums.
Yeah, even Nelly.
Like, even Nelly was like, because that's just that was the climate back then. The climate back then is like, okay,
you had even if you're not that put out quality shit.
Right. Even if you're not that skilled, you better put out a good album or you don't.
Right. You wouldn't be able to survive with like no wordplay, no creative hooks, no quality put into your shit. Oh, you're done. Like, no one wants to hear this shit for 16 songs. Right. Like, nah, it's over.
Yeah. Give me a break.
I do. We got to talk. Oh, Nelly did have that one awful song though. Over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Which actually,
he had some bad.
It was bad, but it kind of low key. Like if you at the house by yourself, you may play it. you may play it once.
Yeah, you might not skip it if you just chilling.
You just chilling, maybe like you gonna listen to it like this shit was so dumb. Like this was the dumbest song ever. But whatever. But yeah, that's. Either way, these. I don't know.
It's like, I don't know. Like,
I don't want to be old head forever in hip hop, but I think I'm getting there. Man.
Yeah, like they try, because I embrace a lot of the new artists. Like I listen to a lot of it, but they be forcing me to be like, okay, like don't call him a GOAT, don't call him this.
So out of the new school, so we'll say the last 5 to 6 years, because that's essentially still a lot of new school people. Who do you mess with? Like, who your top 3? Out of like that era of like, the new school era. Who you messing with?
Pop Smoke was my favorite.
Yeah, that shit hurts. Yeah.
That's fair. Pop Smoke, Lil Baby. I like Lil Baby.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I like Lil Baby, and right now, I probably got to say for me, probably got to be Fabi. Like I like Fabi, but
I like those 3. Those 3 aren't bad. I had I told you that's why I'm hurt. I had DaBaby like number of the new school. He was number 1, and then he fucking just
DaBaby. My problem with DaBaby, because the thing is like DaBaby started growing on me, and then because all his songs like sound the same to me.
There's some consistency, yeah.
And the thing is like, okay, not only is the beat, he never switched up the flow. Like, nigga, can you rap a different way? It's the same flow. There's every song.
I think in Bop, he says something about switch up the flow. I thought you never ask. And usually when you say switch up the flow in a song, you then switch up the flow. He didn't. He just said, push up the flow, and then he rapped the same way the rest of the song. I was like,
it's like, what are you talking about?
You didn't push up the flow. I'm confused.
You didn't switch anything. All right. Oh, I like King Von, too. I like King Von.
Oh, word. Nah,
I like King Von. I don't know if Dirk count, but he's out longer than 5 years, though.
Yeah.
You talking about last 5.
I think Dirk's been on it. They were talking about, I think King Von's a guy that you would expect to be on it next year. Although I think he could have been on it this year, because some of these I'm just like, I don't really see it. But like I said, I mean, we'll see, man. I'm trying to get back into hip hop and not be an old head forever, because, like I said, but guys like Pop Smoke brought me back in. Obviously, the Buffalo Boys, they're not really
Griselda.
New school.
Everybody say we can't call them that.
They in terms of like newer rappers, I won't say they're new school, but newer rappers, I was like, all right. But like, I'm trying not to be just gritty, like 90s bar for bar punchline rap, because there's like we bang with LL, and LL will give you punchline rap, but he has some chill vibe songs. Everybody back in the day wasn't doing the same shit, so that's whatever. But it's hard when you grow up. I mean, you think about the goats in rap, like real goats in rap, and we already said that Nas is not one of them. But goats in rap, goats in rap. When you come up in that era of like supreme wordplay and killer beats and just the vibe, and then it coincided with that growth in the early 90s and like later 90s of just like black culture was just like the shit. Hip-hop culture was the shit. Like you had the flyest clothes, the hardest beats, like some of the greatest rappers of all time. When you grow up in that era, it's hard to be like, yo, I need to hear everything Lil Yachty and, you know, so-and-so got out right. And it's hard to go to that, but there is some value in different approaches. And I mean, if you put quality out, quality will stand the test of time, but put quality out is, I guess, the capper on that. Like, put quality out, whatever. Otherwise, you're going to fall apart and no one listening to your shit in 2, 3, 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
It's already starting to happen. If you think about it, guys that came out maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you're not hearing them no more.
Gone. Yeah.
You're not hearing them no more. Like, it's starting to happen already. So if you want to stick around, put some good shit out.
Right.
That's it.
Be talented.
Right. Have a talent and then cultivate that talent.
Right.
You'll be around. These boys are in the playoffs. That's all that matters. And they gonna knock off the Lakers. I said it. You hear to hear first. America, the Lakers are done. All right? That's all the take I got.
Like I don't know if the Lakers are done. I do expect the series to be a little bit harder than people expect it to be, because you got a lot of people expecting the it's actually people like Laker fans saying, "Oh, they're going to get them out in 4, like they're going to sweep them." Like the reason why a lot of you having some people pick Portland to beat the Lakers is because of how bad the Lakers have been looking and how bad they've been playing. They can't score. You know what I mean?
And I'll tell you one thing better, or one thing to add to that. Yes, in reality, they're probably going to win, the Lakers, but we need to put some respect on my man Dame in the Trailblazers. These boys did give, granted, it was a semi-depleted Golden State team. They gave them boys problems. They went, didn't they go 6?
No, they got swept last year.
No, one year they didn't get swept though. What year?
I think that might have been the year when they blew the 3-1 lead, Golden State in the finals, because people forget Steph got hurt that first round and he came back against the Blazers. He had to come back early because the Blazers were beating them.
Right. Okay. That was a series. Either way,
yeah.
I think that team, if again, Dame and CJ have to be on. But they can give teams problems if they're on. And I mean, let's talk about the dark horse, the X factor on that team, Melo. Melo always gives LeBron like problems. And Melo's game is a game that ages well because it's built on shooting and skill. It's not about being the fastest, being the most athletic. It's about I can still hit these jumpers from wherever I want to. I think all of that combined, I mean, I said it before, if they go win a championship, the Lakers, AD has to be the best player in the world. I've said it, and I'm on record for saying that he has to be the best player in the world. But I do think it'll be closer because Dame seems motivated. Melo seems motivated. And, I mean, between those two and CJ coming in, hitting buckets, they have a puncher's chance. I'll say that. Puncher's chance.
Yeah, they do. They do. And the big contrast is going to be you have a team that's all offense because Portland doesn't play any damn defense. Like
none. Not even a little bit.
Right. Not even a little bit. All offense against a team that struggles to score. But if you don't play defense, you know, they can get rolling, and it could be a tougher game than people expect. But I do see one thing though that I see what Skip Bayless is doing.
So Skip,
and this got a lot of attention on Twitter, more than I expected it to be. Because I didn't at nobody, anything. People just read it. But I see what you're doing, Skip. Skip has been bashing Dame Lillard all week, right? And all he's doing is putting fuel to the fire for Dame. Because at the end of the day, his primary target is still LeBron. And all he wants is
there
Dame.
may not be a man alive that dislikes LeBron James more than Skip Bayless.
Dame ain't the type of dude just back down from a challenge.
No.
He sees all of this.
No, he's not going to back down.
He's been using his motivation. He missed them 2 free throws, got 50, 60, 40, 30. He's not playing.
We got, and that's the thing, we got to start, there's not many people that get talked about with the Mamba mentality. We may have to start giving that to Dame because he got hot and was like, watch what I do. It was impressive. It was impressive to watch him work again, still taking the super long bombs. But again, it's impressive to watch your man go when he motivated, man. And I think Skip will literally be talking about it for months. If he can motivate Dame to take LeBron loses to the 8th seed in the first round, because if it was to happen, you can never, ever put LeBron in the discussion with the GOAT ever again. If you lose to an 8th seed with future Hall of Famer, Anthony Davis on your squad, and you are looked at as top 2 potentially all time, I don't care if you're 45 years old. If you lose to Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, Melo and company, bruh, you will no longer be in the GOAT conversation. I don't care what else you do. So I think that's something that Skip would love to see happen.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. I'm motivating Dame to knock off the Lakers in the first round because if LeBron loses in this first round, he can go hammer time on LeBron. That's a week's worth of ratings right there.
At least. Oh man. He'll just be happier. He'll just be happier.
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
Happier person.
I see exactly what he's doing. Because he's coming at Dame, and then it's kind of genius on his part because if Dame loses, I can just keep bashing Dame like I've been doing.
He's an evil genius.
Yeah,
it's the perfect plan.
It's the perfect plan. I can bash Dame and motivate him, and if he beats LeBron, I can just smoke LeBron like I want. And if he loses, I can just keep smoking Dame like I've been doing. It's. I see the plan. Skip ain't fooling me. Skip was because everybody saw Skip just getting on Dame, and everybody oh, Skip, shut up, and Skip, what are you talking about? And Skip
shut up.
Quit hating on Dame and blah 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 blah. Okay,
man.
I see exactly what he's doing. Because let's be honest, I've been telling people, because Dame is a dog. Dame been balling, but
facts.
Skip is not all wrong about Dame, and I'm a Dame Lillard guy. I've been saying it for the last few years. Dame, after the first round, has not shown or even done anything close to what he does in the first. Second round, Western Conference Finals, he kind of disappears.
I do feel like there's something to be – I'll tell you right now, and I'll tell you what it is to me. I don't know if Dame would agree with this, but I feel like this is the Curry effect. And I say that because to me, Curry's made a career off of I can just shoot threes and dominate you. And that's fine. But what people – and we talked about it a little bit last week. Even with that, we have to understand something about, number one, he also moves around. more than most people who play on the ball. He moves around a lot. He comes off screen, so he gets easier shots than just pull-ups from 35 feet. Also, I think he shoots it at a better clip than most, and in the playoffs, he still is firing on all cylinders. Dame, to me, in my opinion, should really be attacking the paint more. I want to see him be a little more aggressive because if your shot's not dropping, and I've seen games where like it's just not dropping. He's not on whatever. It's like get in the paint. Do something different or drive and kick. You actually have shooters. Do more of that shit. Give a different look to the defense so it's not just, oh, I'm going to just do this. They started blitzing Curry. He's just like, all right, Draymond, bring it up.
Right.
So bring it up.
Right. Or I'll dump it to Draymond when the blitz comes. And that's the biggest thing. And this is why I expect the Lakers to do this. The reason why Dame doesn't do as much after that first round is because now he starts getting treated like Steph.
And he can't handle it. He hasn't handled it well.
Right. So I think he's gotten better because like it was a time when he just couldn't handle, okay, well, when they do a screen and roll, we're gonna blitz you and trap you and get the ball out your hands and let's now see you be effective. Or when the Pelicans swept them, it was like, okay, we know you're gonna look for the three. So we're gonna put our best defender on you, Drew Holiday, which he said is the best defender in the league on him. And if you get by him, I got Anthony Davis waiting for you. But we're going to trap you. We're going to do all right. He hasn't been able to adjust like Steph has been able to adjust to that type of defense, and that's why he struggles. So I expect the Lakers, maybe not game one or two, but I expect them to kind of do the same thing that most teams do in the second and third round on Dame, which is start trapping them and getting them stopped early, because you see teams already starting to double team them now, like a half court. Oh, throw it to Gary Trent Jr. Like, we'll let him beat you. Like, if y'all going to beat us, he is going to have to do it.
And that's the thing. Like, you're right. If they're going to lose, it's going to be based off of that. It's not going to happen at all if it's Gary Trent time.
Right. If it's Gary Trent time.
If it's Gary Trent time, you might as well pack up now and go home. I mean, maybe CJ time. Shit, maybe Melo time. If it's Gary Trent time.
And that's one thing that Terry Stotts is going to have to do as a coach. When they like, okay, this is how they treating Steph. It's like, okay, like you said earlier, like we're going to have to let Draymond bring it up or Iggy bring it up. Let's try to get Steph moving around to get him more open. Terry Stotts hasn't done that yet. Like the only thing he can do is like let CJ go cook like he did yesterday. Because once CJ started cooking, that's like, all right, now we gonna double both of them. We can't do that. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see. But I do see the game Skip is playing with Dame and the Lakers. Like Skip is going to be watching every second of every minute of those games when they start playing.
Yo, real quick though, I have a question for you. Playoffs are starting, all right, and we didn't even get no playoff takes. But like I'm looking at some of the East games coming up. Actually, no, it's a couple. Well, so it's a mixture in my background here. They start in games at 1:30.
Yeah, nothing else to do.
On a Monday, though?
I they're starting some good games at 1:30. Nobody wants to see Utah and Denver.
But no, because clearly that's what it went with. It went with, I mean, think about the populations. I'm like, all right, cool. Like the Nets. Okay. The Raptors, I'm surprised is at 4, but I guess you figure I guess they just thinking that people at home, fuck it. Because I just saw 1 o'clock, which is weird to me.
And it just shows like, okay, if we didn't have to accommodate fans, this is the schedule we would put up. It's like
you watch it when you can watch it.
Right.
This is
the schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's right. It's fair though. Like Utah and Denver play at 1 o'clock. Like if you're on the West Coast, you eating breakfast.
Put them on. Like
Nobody want to
they
watch
look
that
at it
shit.
like, yeah, we ain't gotta wait till 10. We like, for our time, we ain't gotta wait till 10:30 to put a game on now.
And then it's funny because then the teams you want to see, like the Sixers, I'm like, but like they got stars. They're in a big market. Boston stars, big market, and then like Dallas not so much, but the Clippers 100% stars, big market. You can't see behind me, but the Clippers and the Mavericks play at 9. I'm like, okay, that's
They do what
that's
they're
the
doing.
real game you
Yeah,
want.
Doncic and PG and Kawhi. Like, yeah,
That's the
Porzingis.
real
Like, yeah,
game you want to watch.
yeah, they know. Like, okay, we'll put this game. This is
They
prime
do
time game.
know. They were like,
Let's-
we ain't
Yeah.
doing that shit.
Yeah, let's put everybody else on. Nobody wants to see early. They should have put Nets and Raptors up first.
Yo, because
should
like
have been
no
1
one
o'clock.
wants to watch that. It's
No,
Canada and the Brooklyn team with no Kyrie and no
Kyrie,
KD.
no KD.
Who cares?
Raptors
Spencer
with no
Dinwiddie
Kawhi.
ain't even there. Who watching
Right.
it? Karis LeVert?
Yeah, the only
Jared
star on
Allen?
the team. Nobody was trying to watch Joe Harris.
Who's a priority to resign apparently by
Right.
the team. So I want to watch
Right.
Joe Harris shoot threes, double cover.
Fire it up. Fire it up, Joe. Fireman Joe.
We can call the Nets now, man, because next season I'm gonna be just crying. Like,
Yeah, it's going to be bad for us Knicks fans.
Knicks fans. All we got to look forward to is a better coach, I guess. I just this is how I feel this is how I'm gonna feel all season. All season.
Yeah,
That's how I'm gonna
it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly.
Anyway, maybe we'll get the number 1 pick. We'll hope for that. We'll hope for that.
6ix9ine.
Oh gosh,
Here's the thing about Tekashi.
Tekashi.
And the thing is, because I got into a couple of debates about Tekashi because a lot of people keep thinking some gangbanger homie is going to blast Tekashi. And it's like,
Yo, like that.
No.
That was crazy. First off, yes, real quick on this. I kept seeing that because I told you Akademiks is like that dude's like personal PR. And it was like, are you surprised he could move through New York like this? And da-da-da-da. And I'm like, first off, New York is fresh off a pandemic. Boys is inside or not out, number 1. Number 2, if you see how he rolls 8, 9 bodyguards deep, and I'm sure they strapped. They rolling like, I mean, who's running up to a dude saying, "Oh, I'm about to give you the hand," like, and more importantly, like, okay, in the mob, whatever. If somebody snitched in the mob, the other mob families ain't gonna get them. The family that got snitched on go get them. So why is it on number 1? Why does it matter? Number 2, why is all of New York gotta be like, "Yo, go get him"? He ain't snitch on me. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say that I'm in snitch culture, all that shit, whatever. I hear that, but I'm just saying the boys that he snitched on should go get him. That's who he snitched on. Go call your homies. Like, that's who should go get him. If anybody.
And that's the thing. Like, there's a bunch of people talking, 6ix9ine still walking around. 6ix9ine, like, yeah, he's gonna be walking around. He has security, and on top of that, here's the thing. All these so-called gangster dudes don't even shoot at cops on a normal basis. So you're telling me that now, because of 6ix9ine, they're going to start banging it out with a bunch of cops just to shoot him, even though he ain't even snitch on them. Somebody just going to go out and do that?
Somebody going to risk freedom in life because a dude did something that was foul.
Right.
No, you're not.
Nobody wants to go to jail for life for 6ix9ine.
And that's exactly what it is. Like, shout out to Nip, because Nip was saying, like, in general, because they talked about Tekashi, whatever. And this is back, obviously, a little while ago. And he had an interview, and he was just like, the problem is, and we kind of doing it either way, but he was saying, like, the problem is the public pays attention to these clown niggas. Like, why even give him any energy? Like, if you follow the real ones, if you follow, like, people like me and people who are about something, that's fine. He said, dude like Tekashi should really have no clout. You shouldn't be even worried and checking for him. And that's the thing. That's why, like, I think Akademiks presents something that's entertaining for the culture, but also a detriment because you focus so much on this guy because you cool with him, but like he's a clown and he does nothing for the culture. He just took from it, got rich from it, and then threw people under the bus when it was convenient for him. And I'm like, why do we have to follow him day by day by day? I don't see the point of it. I never did.
Right, and that's the thing. 6ix9ine is a product of this generation, this era, social media era, because people can say what they want about him, but he is a genius troll.
Yes,
I know how to troll enough to get this much attention, and he was doing it before he became a rat. Like troll, like how he got in with the with Treyway and all of them. How he got into all that, he knew how to troll. Like, okay, well, you know what? Let me make a video. If I got 1,000 bloods behind me, now this video goes viral. You know what I mean? Or if I do this, like you just look at the consistent behavior from him. He's always been a troll. And he's always going to be a troll knowing he has backup. So he wasn't like trolling people before he was with 9 Trey. He wasn't doing all that. As soon as he got with 9 Trey, well, I got all these bloods backing me. I'm going to troll people and I'm going to cause drama. I'm going to cause trouble. And
you can't get to me.
Right, you can't get to me. And this brings a lot of attention. This brings a lot of viral attention because I know how to trigger people. I know how to troll people. And now he's doing it with
and
police.
People are getting at him too because you see, I don't know if you saw the clip because he went to L.A. He got off the plane with a broken arm, it looks like. Now, again, because he's a troll, I don't know if somebody got him or not, but he had it on and he had a cast on. And then apparently it's been reported that he got roughed up and robbed out there because you see he went to Nipsey, he went to like the store or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But
and
the thing is,
a lot of dudes was just like, yo, what the fuck is this about? Why you here, bro? And he went out there real quick, took a couple photos, and then he puts it on social like, yeah, I was here. And you know Nip didn't mess with you, and you know how the LA dudes feel about Nip. Worldwide, nationwide, people love Nip. But there, where he from, nah, it's different. So you go in there and you know he wouldn't have banged with you. He wouldn't have respected you at all. And you go in there showing respect like he would even want you there. I think them boys maybe got mad. And again, I never know what the reports really are truthful or not because
but that's the
how
thing.
do you know?
I couldn't believe that because the report initially came from him. So it's just like he likes to troll people. And that's what, and he gets that, and that's why he's cool with Akademiks. Akademiks got on being a troll.
Yeah.
You know, he's making fun of all the murders in Chicago. All the rappers getting murdered in Chicago. All the friends of the rappers getting murdered in Chicago. He made fun of them and he blew up. And that's how they know, the troll culture goes viral. So if I say something crazy, I know people are going to respond to it. If I do something crazy, I know people are going to respond to it. Because they know people are that thin-skinned and they give that type of energy to anything. Which is why Trump won.
No, absolutely. People want to hear outrageous shit because they'll say you real. It can be outrageous because I'll tell you right now, most of your favorite rappers don't believe the shit that they be saying. Let's keep it a buck. Most of your favorite rappers, most of your favorite personalities, they just do shit because they know you're going to watch. They know you're going to either be mad and disgusted by it or love it and want more of it. Either way, it's a visceral reaction, so they get you hooked and they keep doing it, and you're like, yo, he's so real or he crazy as shit. But either way, you watching, and that's what happens. And that's how he's made a whole career. So, like, it's, like I said, it is a part of the culture, and I think, in terms of just hip-hop in general, we got to be better in terms of the content we consume and the content we want to consume and who we give a platform to, because this platform can be powerful and can be awesome. And I'm not saying you got to be like, you ain't got to spit knowledge. You ain't got to be a conscious rapper. But I'm saying at the very least, you don't have to troll everybody all the time too. There's a balance you can strike. And I don't think he tried to strike it because he realized that he got on for being the worst of shit. to just making the worst of everything is how he got on. Which, again, makes him money, and that's cool. But I'm tired of that shit too. This whole idea of like, if you make money, it's okay. Like, really? Like, that's all it comes down to? Because R. Kelly made money, is what he did okay? Like, the fuck?
Right.
It's all about just making money. That's the only thing that matters? That's bullshit. I don't believe that.
Right. That's why I know we talked about before we got on, like, about the cancel culture.
Dude, seriously.
Like, that's why it doesn't really exist like that.
That is why. Because if you make money, it's like it doesn't matter. Like I can't cancel you for some fucked up shit because you made money or you still have a talent or whatever. Like we mentioned R. Kelly. R. Kelly we knew for a while was on some OD just foul level stuff. But
the video, like,
right, there's a video. It's been out.
Right,
and people are like, "Yo, well, these new songs are still kind of hitting though." Like, what?
Right, this was back in the '90s. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, just thinking about cancel culture, you think all the people that Twitter tried to cancel. Because one thing that's different between Twitter and everything, Twitter is not the real world. So
no, it's not. Twitter is fake, 100% fake.
Right. So when people are sitting there talking about people should be canceled, like Kevin Hart was supposed to be canceled. He's still getting movies. He's still getting gigs.
He's still just as popular as he was when he first hit that big wave. Maybe even more so. Maybe making more money now.
Right. Terry Crews is supposed to be canceled. I don't think that stopped anybody from watching reruns of Everybody Hates Chris.
Or Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Right. Yeah, like whoever they try to cancel, like it doesn't really work because, like you were saying, if you're still making money or you're still out there working, like it doesn't matter. 6ix9ine is supposed to be canceled, but like how is he still this popular? Like it's a bunch of people that still follow him.
Take it back to Chris Brown.
Right.
Like, just what was crazy to me about Chris Brown is you may like his music, but a lot of his music is catered towards women. He's singing relationship stuff. I mean, R&B is crosses the gender spectrum, but a lot of women are like, I just love Chris Brown. How do you still love him after the foul shit that he did?
But that's the thing. And
he wasn't canceled. He should have been, but he wasn't. And he's shown behavior that's erratic and kind of abusive in other scenarios. And it was still just like, man, he can sing and dance his ass off though. And that was enough. It was enough to keep him good. Like, I never understood that shit.
And that's the thing. Like it's funny how they pick and choose who they want to cancel and give that energy to. Because they like quiet as kept Chris Brown, R. Kelly. Their biggest supporters should have been the people that canceled them first.
Yep, 100%.
Because those are the ones that kept me. Like when you look at those R. Kelly shows, especially before he got locked up, and then when the allegations first happened, and everything like that, his shows were primarily people that should have canceled them first. Primarily women. Chris Brown, same thing. It ain't like a bunch of dudes just like lining up to go see Chris Brown shows.
No, or if you do, you bring in your girl, like, or a girl you trying to get at, like,
right. And you look at 6ix9ine. Like, I look at 6ix9ine Instagram. He has 24.3 million followers.
And the dudes he appeals to are like younger, supposedly like gang banging or want to hear that type of shit. When he does something that goes against the code, how are you still following?
Or people that just like they don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
if you popular enough, they don't care. That's the problem. They just don't care.
They don't care. I'm sitting there looking like, man, I got like 60 of my friends on Instagram follow 6ix9ine. And I'm looking like, okay, and it's like you're watching because you know he's a troll. And you want to see what he does. I
mean, it's like rubbernecking an accident. You just want to see the fucked up shit that happened.
You want to see the train.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Like, I don't. He doesn't give me the time of day. I don't give him the time of day. You know what I mean? But so, like, if I wanted to cancel somebody and not support a certain person, I'm not going to be watching him, following him, knowing what he does all the time. Like, I don't do that. I never understood that.
Because like, all that presents him and gives him the ability to keep doing the shit that he's doing. If you don't support somebody, you can't follow because the follower gives him the platform. You can't like and subscribe to all this shit because it gives him the platform. That's what I'm saying. And it's not like he's somebody that gives different takes. It's all just the same version of a troll type scenario. And it's like at some point, it's like it stops being. I would think at some point it stops being entertaining. But like apparently not. Apparently it's just like fuck it. It's amazing. I want to watch it all the time. And I'm just like, it just ain't for me, I guess. And I hope there's more people that feel like that and they just stop watching that shit.
And the other interesting thing is cancel culture also goes after people that they shouldn't go after. And the people they shouldn't go after, those are the ones that really get crushed by it. So we look at like Nate Parker, who made Birth of a Nation. They tried to cancel him, and it worked. Like it hurt his opening for the film, even though it was getting standing ovations at the at the indie festivals and getting awards at all the indie festivals. And he tried to make it nationwide, and it's like, oh, well, just bring up this Penn State allegation in back when he was in college, even though he was acquitted of it. And if anybody knows anything about Pennsylvania, if you're a black man that's accused of anything, especially the rape of a white woman, and you get off, you really didn't do it.
They had right.
So, but it was the whole let's cancel him. You know what I mean?
But I think there's a part we have to think about in terms of who's being canceled and realize it doesn't really exist. And really what it comes down to is people are using things to sway public opinion against figures that they don't want to be successful. There's a reason that Tekashi doesn't get canceled. There's a reason that Kanye doesn't get canceled or Chris Brown doesn't get canceled. They make money. They are essentially making money from people that are much richer and more powerful than they are. They produce and they create a narrative that they want out.
Right, exactly.
Kanye's not going to get canceled. Kanye's made more money since wearing the MAGA hat. You know why? Because people in power want him to stay in power. He's not getting canceled. There's people coming out in droves supporting him. I'm happy for him. There's people who, when they talk a certain talk track or they are profitable to an extent, they are protected. That's what I'm saying. Cancel culture doesn't really exist. It's a bunch of narrative controlling from people who want to suppress some people and support others. That's why I'm like, it's all bullshit, man. And more importantly, if you are somebody, in a lot of cases, some cases it's used as a propaganda tactic, but in a lot of cases, cancel culture is designed. It's designed to it's manipulation. That's all it is. Don't fall for that shit. It's stupid. And in a lot of cases, I mean, it's like people that should be canceled, quote unquote, like R. Kelly. If we had some kind of defining metric for it, maybe, but there isn't one. Bottom line, research and know shit before you talk about anybody. If you know what's going on, it's a lot easier to say, all right, yeah, R. Kelly should not be supported by us. This is probably the right move, whatever. And then it's not a big thing because then everybody looks at it and realizes, yeah, that makes sense. But they don't do that. They just say, nope, he got good music. He gets to say. But Nate Parker, nah, he's a jerk. He needs to go. What? And like learn research better than that, and you'll know what's going on.
And that's the thing. Like when it comes to people that they like that push certain narratives, like Charlemagne should be canceled.
Yeah,
but he's not. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you know what? He has the one saving grace. He was, well, I care about men's, black mental health, and so that's enough to excuse all the fuckery of what he says.
Right, and he panders to the people that primarily do the canceling. So when we look at who does the most canceling on social media, it primarily comes from feminists, the LGBT.
They do a lot of canceling.
They do a lot of the canceling.
That's fair.
So, you know what I mean? So he panders. That's like they pander to that certain audience. And so when stuff like that comes up, anybody else who never pandered to that
is in trouble.
Is in trouble. Like Nate Parker got all of that. If anybody else did certain things that Charlemagne has said and did in his past,
I mean, you know what? A lot of the people that pander, and this is what's sad, a lot of people that don't pander to the cancel culture vultures and the Charlemagnes and the actors, people that don't pander to them are oftentimes the people who are doing the most for the community. Like the people who aren't really focused on being popular social media wise. Those are the ones that don't really do this shit. That's why, that's why I'm happy we made this shit. I want to make a channel and make and give a voice to people who aren't going to just pander to bullshit. And that's the whole point of it. Like, have your own opinion, but like it's so much about being liked and popular. Go after what everybody goes after, and make sure you pander to what's popular, and you'll maintain this great presence and this great platform. I'm like, I like people who take and answer controversial questions and push the boundaries and push the limits in a professional and a useful way, like a guy like Nate Parker. Push the boundaries there. But when you do that, you become a target. And that's the problem. When you push it like Kanye pushes it, you're pushing along a wave that people want you to push. People in power want you to push. He's riding a wave. And the wave has made him very successful. It's giving him a bigger platform, whatever. But I just need him and others to come out the sunken place and stop doing this pandering shit, because it ain't helping. It's not even helping you in the long run.
No.
It's not. You think it is, and that's the problem. And that's the mind. You're not thinking about that shit clearly.
And at the end of the day, people that know is completely ineffective. They tried to cancel. I don't know how many times they tried to cancel 50, say, hey, 50, but 50 knows that, like I've seen him say on certain interviews, that he knows, like, okay, social media isn't real. I'm in these meetings, they know it's not real. And at the end of the day, he also knows that all the people that try to cancel are still going to watch his stuff, because you're going to look for something to cancel.
Right.
So
you got to check with somebody to cancel them.
Right. So
you got to find more dirt.
Yeah. So it's just like, like you were saying, like it's people can't be afraid to push the envelope and express certain things, or say what's right, or say something that might not be part of the narrative that's getting pushed.
I mean, that's it, man. Yo, sit your podcast down. We are fucking against narratives. It's bullshit.
Right.
We ain't doing it.
We're not.
I'll tell you right now. This is real. This is real takes. Ain't nobody gonna control what we saying. It's a fact.